Madam Chairperson, it is the vision of government to make Ghana an aviation hub within the West African sub-region. It is in this vein that His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, created the Ministry of Aviation in 2017 to spearhead the development of the aviation sector. The vision of the ministry is to establish Ghana as an aviation hub within the West African sub-region. Our mission is to provide leadership and guidance for the development of Ghana's air transportation system through effective policy formulation, coordination, monitoring, and evaluation of the sector. The ministry's programs and projects are executed in line with the sector medium-term development plan 2018 to 2021 as derived from the Coordinated Program of Economic and Social Development Policy 2017 to 2024 and the policy documents including international conventions and protocols. Pursuant to our vision and mandate, the ministry set out to implement policies and programs born out of the underlisted policy objectives to establish a home-based carrier, to enhance aviation infrastructure development and management, and lastly, to enhance aviation regulation, safety, and security. We have two agencies under this ministry, and the ministry is supported ably. The minister is supported ably by the Managing Director and the Director General. One of the agencies is the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. This regulates and provides air navigation services for the aviation industry. Its mission is to regulate civil aviation and provide secure air navigation services in a professional and environmentally responsible manner. Their functions include advise government on matters relating to civil aviation, regulate and license air transport and all personnel engaged in air transport services. Lastly, to provide air navigation services within the Accra Flight Information Region. The Ghana Airports Company Limited, GACL, is responsible for the planning, development, management, and operations of all public aerodromes and airstrips in the country. Its mission is to provide world-class airport facilities and services for the benefits of stakeholders. The company performs the underlisted functions, among others, to facilitate aircraft, passenger, cargo, and mail movement, coordinate the operations of other agencies that provide support services at the airport to enhance overall efficiency, provide rescue and fire services at the airport. The policies and programs under the ministry from February 2017, when it was set up, to July 2018. First of all, there was the abolition of 17.5 value-added tax, VAT, on domestic airfares. This was in line with the manifesto promise, and in order to make domestic air travel affordable to the public, the ministry, in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance, abolished the 17.5 VAT on domestic airfares in April 2017. It was a government initiative, and it happened barely 6 months in office. And this was in fulfillment of his vision, His Excellency's vision. And I think domestic air benefited greatly from this. Following the abolition, the ministry engaged domestic airline operators to ensure that the intervention reflected in the reduction of domestic airfares. For instance, domestic airfares from May to November 2017, in the case of Africa World Airlines, reduced from within the range of 375 to 500 Ghana cedis to 320 to 400 Ghana cedis for Accra Tamale, and 315 to 400 Ghana cedis to 270 to 340 Ghana cedis for Accra Kumasi, Accra Takoradi routes. The policy also had an effect on domestic passenger numbers For instance, domestic passenger throughput increased from 302,270 as at September 2016 to 373,429 at the same month of 2017, representing 23.5% increase. Bilateral air services agreement, known famously as BASES, to promote and provide air transport services to other countries and collaborate in aviation-related activities. The ministry has obtained cabinet approval to sign a number of initial BASES with various contracting states. Consequently, Ghana has signed initial BASES with Qatar, United Arab Emirates, and Rwanda, and has renegotiated existing BASES with other contracting states, including Nigeria. As a result of the renegotiation with Nigeria, Africa World Airlines commenced daily flights to Abuja, in addition to its original Lagos route. AWA, as it is known, has also commenced commercial flights to Monrovia and Freetown based on existing BASES. The signing and renegotiation of BASA with contracting states will improve air services connectivity, enhance intra-Africa trade, and reduce airfares, among others. The Single Africa Air Transport Market, known as the SATAM, as part of AU Agenda 2063 flagship projects to create a single unified air transport market in Africa, the Ghana government has signed onto the Single Africa Air Transport Market. This is a sequel to the implementation of the Yamoussoukro decision, known as the YD, of 1999, where African countries declared their commitment to liberalize their airspace. The ministry has gone on further to sign the Memorandum of Implementation for the Harmonization of Air Services Agreement, the first ever aerospace and aviation exhibition of West Africa, known as the African Air Show. Under the patronage of His Excellency the President, the ministry, in collaboration with the Ghana Airports Company Limited and the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, organized the first ever aerospace and aviation exhibition of West Africa, dubbed the African Air Show. The Air Show was organized in partnership with 4M Events of Abu Dhabi. The objective of the event, among others, was to create awareness within Africa and the global aviation industry to attract investments for Ghana in the aviation sector. It was also to actively engage major players within Africa and global aviation space, with a view to position the African aviation industry at the forefront of regional and global interests. The event brought together ministers of state from across the sub-region, conference participants from civil aviation authorities, airport companies, and aviation institutions. Over 135 exhibitors from around the world, including 32 local exhibitors, and 346 conference participants attended. The event created the environment for a number of participants to network and secure new businesses. The event was a success, and over 2,000 people visited the fairgrounds. Following from the air show, Egypt Airlines is establishing a line maintenance facility at the Kotoka International Airport. An MOU has since been signed between Ghana Airports Company Limited and Egypt Airlines in this regard. There's also another company called Aerostar. They are also coming in to do line maintenance as well. Joint Ministerial Committee on Aviation and Tourism. The Ministry of Aviation initiated a collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, and visited tourist sites to inspect lands for possible development of helipads to aid tourism. This is part of the ministry's effort to promote tourism through air transport. Consequently, a joint ministerial committee on aviation and tourism was set up, chaired by the able deputy minister. The committee has since developed guidelines on charter services to work with. The establishment of home-based carrier. Madam Chairperson, members of the media, It is in government's plan that Ghana's aviation industry grows to become the center to control domestic, regional, and intercontinental flights within the West African sub-region. This quest to become a sub-regional hub for airline travel could be achieved if the country has a home-based carrier. Cabinet granted approval in October 2017 for the ministry to start the necessary processes for the establishment of the home-based carrier with private sector participation. Cabinet has also given approval for the ministry to negotiate with Air Mauritius and Abu Dhabi Aviation while continuing discussions with Ethiopian Airlines and other strategic investors to establish the home-based carrier with active Ghanaian participation. The establishment of the carrier has the potential to generate financial and economic benefits with this multiplier effect of Ghana and within the West African sub-region. Awards. Madam Chairperson, the outstanding performance and achievements of Ghana's aviation sector has received recognition both within and beyond the borders of Ghana. In 2017, was adjudged the best improvement in safety under 50,000 air traffic movements at the prestigious Airport Council International (ACI) World Conference and Annual General Meeting held in Mauritius. And Ghana was represented by the MD and the chairperson of the Ghana GH-Aviation. The Honorable Minister has also been recognized by several other bodies with prestigious awards, among these ones. Balafon Award of Excellence. The Aviation Minister of the year 2018 for West Africa was, the Aviation Minister was adjudged the best aviation minister in the sub-region by the Balafon Award of Excellence for 2018. And there was the award for recognition for remarkable achievements and contribution to the development of the aviation industry in Ghana and Africa, presented by the International School of Aviation, Africa and United Kingdom. And we are all aware, after the Symposium event, I believe it had a good impression on Ghanaians, both home and abroad. And the minister was adjudged, the minister with excellent leadership role, exhibited and measurable in the award that was given as the best minister for January 2018. I believe it played a role. All these have been achieved by the good team that you can ever find in the aviation sector. So everybody connected with the aviation sector has the kudos from here. Placing Ghana on the aviation map, i.e. hosting of conferences and seminars, as part of government's agenda to showcase Ghana at the forefront of the aviation industry, forge synergies and enhance capacity building among the various players in the sector. The following conferences and workshops were hosted under the auspices of the ministry. International Federation of Air Traffic Controllers Association Conference, held between 19th and 23rd March 2018 at the Kempinski Hotel. And this was graciously graced by His Excellency, the President. And this was the first time that this conference was held on the soil of Africa, and Ghana was chosen. It shows how good we are in our execution of our aviation agenda. The Sub-Saharan Africa Aviation Security Regional Workshop, and this was held under the auspices of the British High Commission. That was also a good thing for us in the sub-region. And then the China-Africa Regional Aviation Cooperation Conference, that was also held at the Qatar Institute, all chosen because of Ghana's peaceful, secure, and able leadership. The last one, and there are more, but these are the four main, is the 12 Roots Africa Conference and Exhibition, which was held between 16th and 18th July 2018 at Movenpick. And and I'm sure this was the first time it was held in Ghana. Great. Aviation regulation, security and safety management. Directives on remotely piloted aircraft systems, known as drones. Madam Chairperson, members of the media, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has developed a new civil aviation directive to ensure controlled and safe operations of remotely piloted aircraft systems, known as drones. Additionally, directives in respect of security and privacy requirements are being developed. Consumer protection and passenger rights. This is very important to travelers. The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has instituted a stakeholder engagement on consumer protection and passenger rights and has developed guidelines to that effect. This is to create awareness among the traveling public to guide them in the management of grievances and claims. Decoupling of air navigation services, known as ANS, provision from the regulator. The Ghana Civil Aviation currently provides air navigation services and regulates the industry, a situation which makes the authority a player and a referee at the same time. In line with recommended international best practices, the ministry, together with the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, has completed an in-house study to determine the technical viability of decoupling the air navigation services provider from the regulator. The purpose is to separate the functions to ensure that high safety standards are met at our airports. The project, when completed, will put an end to the current situation where the regulator also serves as a service provider. Operational performance for the sector, and we start with air traffic statistics. Madam Chairperson, members of the media, the aviation sector has undergone tremendous growth, a reflection of the stable political, social, and economic atmosphere and prudent policies of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government. The number of international airlines operating in the country has increased from 35 to 38. And if I may update you, I believe 2 more have been informed just this morning, and 2 more have joined, with the inclusion of Air France, Mid-Africa Aviation, and Air Namibia. A comparative analysis of traffic statistics between 2016 and 2017 indicates the following passenger numbers. The domestic passenger numbers recorded in 2017 was 483,261 passengers, as against 421,261 recorded in 2016. This shows a positive variance of 61,275 passengers, representing 14.5% compared to the same period in the previous year. The increase in the numbers is partly as a result of the abolishing of the 17.5% VAT on domestic airfares and other policy initiatives which were undertaken by the sector. At the end of the second quarter 2018, domestic passenger throughput stood at 178,007 passengers. International passenger throughput in 2017 showed an increase of 64,729 passengers, representing 3.71% compared to the previous year's figure of 1,746,699 passengers. This is as a result of the Africa World Airlines' new route to Abuja and Monrovia and the commencement of operations by Air France and Air Peace during the second quarter of 2017. By the end of the second quarter 2018, international passenger throughput stood at 960,087 passengers. Aircraft movement points. Aircraft movement, i.e. landing and takeoff, with respect to international aircraft increased from 24,247 in 2016 to 26,726 in 2017, showing an increase of 2,479, representing 10.22%. The positive variance is as a result of more flights operated by Kenya Airways and Medview Airlines. In addition, Africa World Airlines also increased its flight frequency from 2 to 3 times a day and further increased it from 3 to 4 times a day to Lagos. In addition, it's the resumption of flights to KIA by Afrikia. Those who are old amongst us will remember Afrikia, after it was temporarily suspended. Furthermore, inauguration of the 5th president of the 4th Republic of Ghana, held on 7th January 2017, witnessed a surge in private aircraft that ferried presidents and other foreign dignitaries into the country. As at the second quarter of 2018, aircraft movement stood at 13,635 air freight in tonnage. Total air freight recorded in 2017 was 50,360 tons, compared to the recorded figure of 47,678 tons in 2016. This shows an increase of 2,682 tons, representing 5.6%. The positive variance was due to the increase in exports and imports of equipment, general goods, spare parts, pharmaceuticals, personal effects, machinery, and computer accessories, as well as fruits. As at second quarter of 2018, total freight recorded is 26,519 tons. Madam Chairperson, members of the media, we are now on infrastructural developments. Infrastructure is very critical to the development of the aviation sector. It is in this vein that government has embarked on massive infrastructural development to improve all our airports and provide air navigation equipment. The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has made tremendous strides towards achieving aviation safety and security. These achievements include the following: construction of a modern air navigation services center, which is currently ongoing at Dapaah International Airport. This is to provide state-of-the-art equipment for air navigation services and offices for air traffic controllers and engineers. The facility, when completed, will have the following systems: communications, air-to-ground, communications, ground-to-ground, search and rescue, surveillance, weather systems, aeronautical message handling systems, and traffic management coordination. The building will also have 6 air traffic control positions, which will allow for operators supervisory and emergency rescue control center. The project is 45% completed as of June 2018. The construction of the new Ghana Aviation Training Academy complex that has been completed. The new Ghana Aviation Training Academy, known as GH complex building, has been completed, as I said. The training academy is in operation and providing aviation-related courses for aviation professionals in the sub-region. The facility contains simulator rooms, conference hall, language laboratory, tuition rooms, as well as offices for safety inspectors. The project was completed with internally generated funds, IGF, of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. Installation of instruments landing systems at Tamale and Kumasi airports. The instrument landing system in both airports have been provided to guide aircraft approaching and landing on the runway. In responding to air traffic management challenges associated with the tremendous increase in aircraft movements in the Accra Flight Information Region, known as the FIR, the Ministry, in collaboration with the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, installed 3 ultra-modern equipment. The newly installed equipment, which they were commissioned 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. The newly installed equipment includes high-frequency radios, which provide controller pilots communications in the remote oceanic portions of our flight information region. State-of-the-art air traffic movement, known as ATM, system, which provides situational awareness to air traffic controller, and the very small aperture terminal, known as the VS-80 system, which will enable Ghana extend the range of its voice communications between air traffic controllers and pilots. Madam Chairperson, the Ghana Airports Company Limited also embarked on a number of infrastructural projects to modernize our airports and make Ghana the preferred aviation hub in the West African sub-region. These include the design and construction of Terminal 3 building at the Kotoka International Airport, which was started in 2015. As part of government strategies to position Ghana as an aviation hub in the sub-region and to address congestion challenges at Terminal 2, the construction of a new terminal building was undertaken. The project has been completed and handed over and will be commissioned, God willing, on the 2nd of October 2018. The completed project has the following facilities: 5-floor level main terminal with total floor area of 48,000 square meters, with associated terminal facilitation equipment and systems to handle 5 million passengers per annum. Peak passengers per hour of 1,250 can also be handled. There's the mezzanine floor, baggage handling and screening systems, 6 passenger boarding bridges, expandable to 8, commercially important persons lounge, car park area for 700 vehicles, construction of new road network to the facility. A number of simulation exercises are ongoing to test the equipment and facilities at the terminal, which is expected to go live on 1st September 2018. The phase 2 of the Kotoka International Airport development has been finished. The phase 3 of KIA development project is currently ongoing and it's about 98.7% complete. The project, when completed, will help address the problem of inadequate parking space at the airside during peak periods. It will also enhance aircraft movements on the airside. The works include the rehabilitation of taxiway and aprons pavements, supply and installation of taxiway AGL, fuel mains extension, rehabilitation and construction of airside drains, construction of fire station, a new fire station, construction of a southern apron at KIA for 8 wide-body aircraft is also ongoing. The construction of southern apron for 8 wide-body aircraft at the KIA is completed. This will bring the total number of parking bays to 22 to accommodate both medium and large aircraft. The first phase of the project has been completed. Works involved the expansion of the arrival hall. This is also talking about the phase 2, immigration and baggage claim areas to accommodate the increasing number of travelers at the airport. The second phase is currently ongoing and is 43.5% complete. This is in addition to what has been done earlier on. The scope of works includes relocation of customs at KIA Terminal 2 arrivals to the meters and greeters section. The construction of Kumasi Airport, that is the phase 2 of the project. As part of processes to transform the Kumasi Airport into an international airport, His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dapaah performed the sword cutting ceremony on 6 June 2018 for work to commence. On the construction of the completed works include construction of the 1,600-meter runway and taxi link, construction of terminal building, air traffic control tower, and all associated ancillary facilities, car park, etc. Construction of rescue firefighting station, construction of access road, and construction of perimeter fence. There has been the rehabilitation of the Wa Airport, and this is part of government's vision to open up the country and improve air transport connectivity across the country. The Wa Airport has been rehabilitated and ready for commercial operations. Other planned projects for the sector, Madam Chairperson, include maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility, probably at Tamale Airport because of the space available there, cargo and storage facilities at the same airport, multi-story car park at Kotoka International Airport, Airport Business Center at Kotoka International Airport, and Aerotropolis at Ankase in the Ashanti region, Otufo has been kind enough to allocate 26,000 acre land, and we are grateful to him. An airstrip in Cape Coast Central Region, another metropolis, bigger one at Ningo Pram. The chiefs have been kind enough to also release 62,000 acre land. We are eternally grateful to them. And an airport at Sumbugu in the Upper East Region. Challenges. Despite the interventions by government and its agencies, the aviation sector faces many challenges, and key among these are the inadequate funding to undertake more infrastructural projects within the sector, considering the high cost of financing aviation infrastructure. There's also this problem of payment of taxes on imported spare parts by domestic airlines. We are helping them to go through finance and cabinet and parliament to get this rectified. Encroachment on aviation lands, that's a very serious issue. Lands belonging to the Ghana Airports Company Limited and the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority are being encroached upon by individuals and private developers. The land issues include the laborious acquisition process and some payments of compensation. Another area to be considered also is the high price of jet fuel. The price of aviation fuel in Ghana compared to the sub-region apart from Nigeria is high. The country tends to lose out in terms of revenue as most airlines avoid refueling in Ghana. There's also the absence of the home-based carrier, which we believe nationally can help us, but we are on course to bring it into fruition. And the domestic airline operations, as we are all aware, there was this accident in November, which deprived the country of one of the domestic airlines doing business here, Starboard. It's now left with only Africa World Airlines, and this poses a great challenge to the domestic airline operations. And consequently, this affects the price of airfares due to lack of competition. And then finally, restoration of Ghana Civil Aviation to FAA Category 1 status. Ghana is working feverishly to obtain the FAA Category 1 status, which will allow airlines registered in Ghana to fly to the United States of America. The way forward, Madam Chairperson, for 2018 and beyond, and I'm glad the incoming minister is here to partake of all this knowledge. The ministry and its agencies have outlined the following key measures to address the above challenges and to improve the performance of the sector. The ministry will continue with the processes to establish the home-based carrier with private sector participation. This is one of the key priorities towards the achievement of the hub vision. In order for Ghana to be competitive within the sub-region, the ministry will continue to engage key stakeholders on issues related to the reduction of the price of aviation fuel and the removal of import duties on the importation of aircraft spare parts by domestic airline operators. The ministry will start processes for the development of an aviation sector master plan. Additionally, the ministry will create the enabling environment for private sector participation in the development of aviation infrastructure and service delivery. With this, we are looking at the Western Central airports that we are talking to stakeholders about before it goes to cabinet. To this end, new airline operators such as Baby Jet Airlines, Unity Air, and Dapaah Aviation will soon commence domestic operations. The ministry will continue to seek other sustainable funding sources to finance infrastructure development and collaborate with the private sector to develop the aviation industry to contribute immensely to the country's GDP. In order to address the challenges associated with encroachment on aviation lands, the ministry will continue to engage the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources with the support of Parliamentary Select Committee to perfect titles to the lands. The ministry will facilitate the rehabilitation and construction of airports, airstrips, and helipads in every region. The ministry, in collaboration with its agencies, will continue to develop airport infrastructure, attract new airlines, and operationalize Terminal 3 Ho, and Wa airports. The ministry will build synergies between existing private aviation institutions in Qatar to train aviation-related personnel to provide jobs for the teeming youth. Madam Chairperson, in conclusion, I'll say that I have, within this period, provided insights into the sector's activities. I hope that I've set a tone for interaction with the media. It is our expectation that with your support, we will be able to achieve the task we have set for ourselves towards the improvement of the aviation sector and the broad vision of His Excellency the President of our great Republic. Thank you, and God bless us all.